All right, you guys, well, today I have for you a 2020 Nissan Sentra. Take you around the car. Just like the Altima, I do like the styling of these latest generation Nissans. I think they look pretty sharp. I like this little Sentra logo on the bumper, but we will pop the trunk and show you what that looks like. And it's a pretty spacious trunk, as you can see. Not as big as like a mid-size sedan, but still pretty big. And then we'll check under the floor right here. You do get a spare tire, very nice to have. But we'll close up the trunk here. This Sentra is pretty much brand new. It only has like 50 miles on it. We'll hop into the back here, show you what that's like. So the seat is where I would sit. And I have enough room, honestly. It's really not too bad. I have like just enough knee room. I have enough foot space. This really wouldn't be too bad on a longer trip. They do give you a USB outlet back here. That's nice to have. Overall, it's decent back here. But I'll show you guys under the hood real quick. All right, and this is the engine. It's just a 2-liter 4-cylinder. Makes, I believe, 149 horsepower. Really not the fastest, not the most special, but it gets the job done. Close up the hood here. And we're gonna hop in, show you guys what this car is made of. We will start it up. The startup button is right here. This is the center screen right here. As you can see, it's like decent, not too bad. The response could be a little bit quicker. This is just slightly slow. It takes like a half a second maybe. Really not a big deal, but if you want the quickest responding screen, this might not totally be for you. You do get your media sources right here, AM, FM, or Bluetooth. You have your phone right here. This is your audio information. Not a whole lot of interesting things in this system, but you know, it works decently. It looks pretty good. The graphics are good. You do get nice shortcut buttons right here if you just want to quickly go to something. You do get your hazard lights right here, kind of an interesting location for that. You do get your climate controls, very simple. You do get dual zone climate control in here, which is pretty nice to have. And this is your fan speed, your front and rear defrost. You do get USB-C, your standard USB, and an aux right here. And you do get a plug-in outlet. This is the shifter for the CVT. Just a normal, typical shifter with low gear selection. And you do get sport mode. If you push this button, this kind of makes it rev a little bit higher. But we'll put it in park there. You do get a pretty big center console, actually. Not like huge, but it's actually pretty decent. And you do get a glove box over here, fuel release, hood release, your foot brake. We'll get this thing out on the road and talk about how it drives. Check out the turning radius. Really not too bad. About average, I would say. So as for the acceleration, this is a Sentra. It's pretty much as you would expect, not very fast. Gets you moving. I mean, it works like just fine for around town use, but it's not something that's gonna wow you. It's not, this thing isn't built for performance, and you can pretty much tell that right away. Everything in this Sentra is pretty soft. There's nothing that feels particularly like responsive or sporty. It is very smooth though. This ride is like very soft, very smooth. Pretty good for a compact car. It definitely feels a lot more buttoned down, a lot more, a lot higher in quality compared to the last generation Sentra. I mean, for this engine though, you do have to like rev it to get this car to move. If you just like kind of go soft on the accelerator, this car doesn't go anywhere very fast. I find that I usually have to, if I want to like go a little bit quicker, I kind of have to accelerate past 3,000 RPM, which is kind of high for just like accelerating around town. This steering is very smooth. It's very light, and it doesn't respond like particularly fast or anything like that. But it is very smooth. It's pretty linear. You feel like you feel like you're in good control of the car. It's just not like special. It doesn't have a whole lot of feel to it. It feels pretty electronic and a little bit devoid of feel. As you can see, this thing just kind of, it has like a bit of a delay when you first go to start out. I attribute much of that to the CVT. It has simulated shifts, like simulated ratios to feel more like a traditional automatic, but it is just like a little bit unrefined, a little bit non-linear. It's not a bad car to drive, it's just not very sporty. I do like the response of these brakes. They bite down pretty well. They're actually rather touchy, and they stop the car very smoothly. I have decent visibility. I can see right onto the road in front of me. This front hood like slopes down completely out of sight. The view out of the back is like not the best. They could have, it's like that Altima that I drove. I think they could have engineered the rearward visibility a little bit better in this car, but overall, pretty good visibility. This accelerator response isn't too bad. It does feel like a little bit vague at times. Usually off the line, it's pretty good. Like, you know, you just kind of tap it and the car moves. But there are times where I kind of put my foot into it and it just feels slightly lackluster. Try a little handling test right here. It does okay. It's not particularly inspiring, but it does a good job despite that. Yeah, honestly, like not too bad. Brakes are very smooth. They slow you down with good composure. Chassis feels pretty rigid going around the corners. I do wish the steering communicated better, but the handling itself really not too bad. I do like the material quality in this car. I like this like stitching, even though it's like fake, but it adds a nice touch to the interior. I like this leather wrap steering wheel. It's very smooth. The flat bottom design looks good. These seats are decently comfortable. Good interior space. This car has like a good use of space. I mean, like the back seat is fairly roomy. You get like good storage space too. Overall, it's a pretty good car on paper. We're gonna take this car on the highway, see what that's like. Alright, you know, it's not too bad. Hits highway speeds without much drama. A little bit slow, but not terrible. Pretty good highway car. Fairly quiet, fairly smooth. easy to keep this car in the lane. We'll try a more normal acceleration here. It's a compact car, but you know, I hit 70 and it wasn't too bad. Try out the passing power. This response from the CVT really isn't too bad. Does okay. There's a little bit of body lean, but it's not too bad. It's very linear and very smooth. Everything remains consistent around the corner. This engine does sound a little bit coarse and like unrefined, but it's like pretty smooth in terms of like the power delivery. It's just like the sound that I'm not totally crazy about. You're not encouraged to like fly around, but it zips around pretty well. Alright, you guys, well, I think I'll end the video here. Pretty sure I talked about everything with this 2020 Sentra. We're just gonna park it over here. Pretty good car. Not like this most special, not the most sporty, but it's a good car. It zips around okay, and you know, it's decent. Yeah, like it gets around just fine. It's not the most powerful. The handling is reasonable. It's okay. You can go around a corner at a pretty good speed. The steering, it's a little bit numb, but it's not too bad. This interior is nice. They have good materials in here. But yeah, we're gonna hop out. I'll shut it off here. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone.